milk, emulsified salts, polyphosphates, carob essence, seaweed essence, lactose bean gum, allergen, carrageenant. It's a fucking cream cheese. Why would we need such stuff? Hi everyone, today we're going to make cream cheese from scratch in like 5 minutes with milk and no fucking additives. It's so easy, it's so tasty for us, for our children, for our loved ones. And when you become a person who makes his own cheese at home, you're really cool. From that simple recipe, I'm going to add some little Refika tricks and we're going to prepare some really cool looking, incredibly tasting other cheese. If you're ready, we can start. First off, we need milk. It's a pasteurized daily milk, whole fat. It's not double, it's not like a light. And I'm going to make like 3 and 4 different recipes. So I need 4 liters, but when you're making it at home, for the first one, you just need 1. So 1 liter would be enough. I'm adding it to my pot. Turning the heat on. Because it's pasteurized, I don't need to boil it so much. And when it starts to bubble, it will be ready. The milk is going to boil, and until that, I don't need to do anything. When it boils, I'm going to make it a curdle with an acid. Acid could be done with a yogurt, or a vinegar, or a lemon juice.
You look like Chobani.
Refika, show us how to make yogurt as well, will you?
I will. I love it. I have my own.
Because it's easy as well, right?
It's very easy, and the yogurt is a great thing. Yogurt, kefir is 2 great stuff for our digestive system and our intestines and many more. Yogurt was invented by Turks, you know, and I'm a Turkish girl, so I have so many tricks to make great yogurt. But later. Until it boils, I'm going to have 2 lemons. When you add an extra acid to a boiling milk product, it curdles. Curdle is the main starter for cheese. The milk is almost boiling. Before it rises, I turn the heat to the lowest and then start to add the lemon juice. Why I added the lemon juice? Some of the vinegars leave a taste. Look, as you can see, it starts to leave a curdle. I add a little more. In Turkey, we call this the milk starts to come. Oh, yeah. It's already done. The important thing is the water should be like see-through like this. I don't like this simile, but in 1999, when I was 1 year old, we had this big earthquake in very close to Istanbul, and the sea color changed into this. Each time I make cheese, I remember this. I try to take every curdle from the milk, and now there's this water, but this water is actually really nice. You can use it in soups if you have a dog or a cat. Instead of putting a normal water, you can put this water. It's really, really good. And when it's cold, you can also give it to the plants. It will work as a fertilizer. So,
What if I drink?
you can drink it as well. I put a bit of salt, not too much. When it's still hot, I want to make this cheese as creamy as possible, and to do so, I have to do it when it's really, really hot to make the cream cheese. I'm going to put some of this curdle here. As the cream cheese has a lot of fat, it's not so rich on fat. We can do 2 things. We can either put butter or olive oil. I want to put olive oil because it's one of the best olive oils in the world. It's from Turkey. A girl called Selin makes it. I put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a bit of salt, and then I start to... After a minute, it becomes something like this. It's smooth, but it still has a little bit of sandy. Don't leave it there. Do at least for 1 more minute. First part is ready. We have the cream cheese, like this. As you can see, it's really smooth and it's still hot. For example, if you have a guest or something, it might be very cool to give a hot cheese, no? The first one is ready. Plain, great cream cheese. This is the plain one. I want to make it a little bit more exciting. This is the truffle oil. It smells like rich, but it's not that expensive, don't worry. And when I add this to here, about a tablespoon and a half, now We have cheese with truffle oil. As simple as this. Oh, and it smells really, really good. One thing though, I should say, I didn't first put the truffle oil. The reason behind it is, it was really, really hot then. It's not so hot now. The hotness of the cheese would cook the truffle oil and it wouldn't smell that good. So this way, it's better. Bahar and I have been working for about 8.5 years.
Something like
Hello.
She was my food photographer. Now she's the director. She's everything.
This is for me?
All for you. One for all for one. I wanted to make it in a different shape, so this is the second one. Now it's going to get more exciting. We're going to make cheese with basil and walnuts. The rest of the cheese, it's a bit cold right now. I want it to be creamy, so the hot water is still here. I dip it a bit so that I warm it up, because to make it creamy, it has to be really warm. I'm going to put oil as well, but I'm going to put some butter because this time I don't want a creamy cheese, but I want like a dimensional one.
Oh yeah.
And then some more olive oil. If you do not have olive oil, sunflower, even canola would do. We have hazelnut oil, that works really well. And a bit of more salt. And here we go again. The cheese is like silk now. It's still hot. What I should do is, I have to take this out. I'm going to add walnuts and basil inside, but basil is very, very delicate. So cheese is hot. It will ruin the basil. It will brown the basil, actually make it black. To cool it down, I increase the surface area like this, and it will get cool. Now, the basils. Oh. Smells great. We have like a small batch of basil. There's water on them. It's still wet. So what I'm trying to do is, with a napkin, take the extra water away. And I'm going to roughly chop them. And the walnuts. A handful of walnuts is a Refika measure to the cooking world. I'm going to put the measure of this in grams as well to the recipe below. So I add the walnuts and the basil in and mix them well.
So you can put whatever you want in it, right?
Yep. You can use, instead of basil, mint, coriander, or instead of walnuts, you can use peanuts, pistachios.
Meat?
Good question. If it's a cured meat, yes, you can. Raw meat, no, definitely no. For example, you can leave it in the refrigerator and eat it in 2 weeks. But if you do not put any grains, longer. Now, almost ready. I get one baking paper, like this, one sheet, and do this. And then open it again. What freezing do is, when you try to open it, it rolls back and make you hate what you do in life. So always crumble your paper. I try to make it a little longer. I'm going to roll it like this, and so that it makes something round.
You're making a sausage.
I'm definitely making a sausage. In Turkey we call this büş. I don't know what it's called abroad. I'm trying to learn, so if you tell me like what this kind of cheese is called in your country, that would be wonderful. My cheese is almost ready, but it's still warm and soft. I'm going to throw this in the refrigerator for at least 2-3 hours so that the butter inside is going to harden and it's going to change the texture of this soft creamy cheese into cheese that we can cut. We go. We have a church just nearby. The bells are ringing. They want it from the cheese as well. And also the hoca wants it. So everyone wants it. I'm going to start with the classical one. Oh, this is it. I don't want to eat alone, so the truffle one is for you.
Hello.
It's still smelling incredible, by the way. What is that? This is the difference between you and me, Bahar. You're thin and I'm not that much, so. It was year 2011. My book was being sold in New York MoMA, and there was this Destination Istanbul exhibition, it was there as well. I had no money, and we would order, and the food that we ordered, we didn't like it, we just ate bread, because we didn't have the money to order another dish.
Okay, I'm gonna try
We
this
came
one.
a long way, moral of the story. Look, this is it, it's great.
Oh, this one smells very fresh.
Yeah. The smell of the basil captures all the cheese and it's incredible.
You cannot compare this from something you buy from.
So, you know what to do. Subscribe to our channel, like the video, definitely like the video, and we become a big family.
And tell us what do you want her to make for you.
From here, you can subscribe to our channel. From here, you go to another video made by us.